What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out US aircraft carrier attack plan on Iran explained. This is by the legendary AI Telly, which, by the way, we've watched a few of their videos now. If you've not gone and subscribed to AI Telly's videos yet, I highly recommend you do it. They basically take what is current news we're in the whole sphere of military kind of news. It mostly is American news, but there's bits of other stuff in there as well. And they animate it in a way that is so easy to understand what's going on. Genuinely love the channel. I really do. I've never been in contact with anyone from AI Telly, so if you're watching this, slip into me DMs on Instagram or something, because you're fantastic. You really are. Anyway, there's a link down below to the OG video. Make sure you go over there, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. Really important that you do that. We had a lot of news in the past 24 hours about Iran kind of kicking off again with America. You could turn around and say, hey, this might all be a distraction because a lot of Epstein files got released, or it might just be legitimately a coincidence. Either way, I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the actual news around Iran and the US and what's going on with these aircraft carriers, okay? Before we get started, though, check out Chug, 10% off, link down below for the best drinking vessel in the world, handmade here in the UK by a small business. You want to crack open a drink and watch a war film or sit around the fire and look like an absolute badass while drinking your drink. Free customization, free bag, 10% off, link down below, ships to America. Also, before we get started, check out my drink. Took me 2 years to develop this, and I'm really proud of it. And if you can't get it in America yet, which you can't, if you're in America, you can't get it yet, go and check out the socials, because I'm doing some really good content on the Drink Morale YouTube channel of vlogs of going out in nature and stuff. And I'd really appreciate if you went over there and checked it out. But this year's going to be a good year for morale, and we're going to try and get it out in America this year. Anyway, let's pull this up. Let's see what AI Telly's got to say about this US aircraft, which, by the way, Iran tried to attack the US aircraft, I'm pretty sure. So this is going to be prevalent, even though this video is like 9 days old. As of watching this, 9 days old. And in the past, like 24 hours, there's been a lot of news about it kicking off. So just bear that in mind while watching this video, okay?
Why is the Pentagon rushing to move a slow floating city halfway across the world at a burn rate of millions per day? In an era of stealth bombers that can strike anywhere on Earth in hours, why do we still rely on these massive assets? Moving a U.S. supercarrier from the South China Sea to the Persian Gulf isn't just a road trip. It is a logistical nightmare. We are talking about a massive operation that burns through more than $6.5 million every single day. But here is why they do it. A bomber strikes and leaves, but a carrier strike group stays. It parks 70 fighter jets off the coast of an adversary and leaves them there. It creates a no-fly zone that a bomber simply cannot maintain. But how exactly do U.S. attack operations and logistical support actually work?
They are legitimately a floating city. Like, for people who are unaware about how much personnel are on these ships, it would legitimately blow your mind. They are floating cities.
Part 1. The naval pivot. The chess pieces are moving. We are tracking the largest naval redistribution since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. The Pentagon is emptying the Pacific to flood the Persian Gulf. But where are all the U.S. nuclear carriers stationed when not at war? And how many will travel to Iran and the Middle East? On paper, the number is 11 nuclear-powered supercarriers divided into 2 distinct classes. First, the Nimitz class. These are the 10 workhorses of the fleet commissioned between 1975 and 2009. Second, the Ford class. Right now, there is only one, the USS Gerald R. Ford. This new generation uses electromagnetic catapults to launch jets faster.
It's also an absolutely insane bit of kit. I'm pretty sure we watched a video on it a while back and just how complex and elaborate this vessel is. It's got to be the most advanced vessel ever created by humankind ever. I'm pretty sure the British one is actually quite advanced as well, the new one. But still, it's a great bit of kit. And it cost a lot of tax dollar pennies.
Well, let's look at this scenario. What happened when the Department of War gives a green signal.
The Department of War.
The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is typically stationed in the South China Sea to deter Chinese vessels. However, upon receiving flash priority orders, it can sprint to the Middle East in just a week.
It can sprint to the Middle East in just a week. So I'm wondering if they've actually gone and done that already. Obviously, having a shore force in the area that it's always been in is quite important, considering the tension between China trying to take Taiwan. So I don't know.
Has to transit the Malacca Strait, the choke point between Malaysia and Indonesia. Meanwhile, the U.S. can launch another nuclear aircraft carrier. The USS George H.W. Bush will depart from Norfolk, Virginia, likely crossing the Atlantic to enter the Mediterranean. This leaves the Pacific dangerously thin, with only the USS Ronald Reagan or its replacement, the George Washington, potentially available in Japan. The plan is to have 2 full strike groups off the coast of Iran.
God, just the thought that these floating cities are just lingering out there must terrify a lot of countries, mustn't it? Like, having one of them not far off your coast is daunting.
10 days to form a pincer deterrent. Here's part 2, the missile logistics. Following the first strike against Iran's nuclear bunkers, the U.S. had actually removed 60% of its missile defense systems from Qatar and the Middle East. So how many missiles are being transported from different parts of the world to fix this? The answer is fill the sky with these Globemasters. The U.S. military needs a massive airlift of roughly 4 to 6 Patriot batteries and components for a THAAD battery. This involves over 300 heavy transport flights. But here's the detail most people miss. The U.S. needs a flood of aging Patriot missiles to be pulled from stockpiles in Germany and Japan.
Yeah. Can we just pause and say how good these animations are for explaining this stuff? I love these. I think they've done it such a... I'm pretty sure it uses Blender, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they make it on Blender. It's really good. Really, really good.
Why move old missiles? Because they are the perfect cheap solution for Iran's thousands of Shahed drones.
Yeah.
Commanders are hoarding the brand new Scarce PAC-3 kinetic interceptors for the hypersonic and ballistic missile threats. The military is clearing out the Cold War inventory to save the modern tech for the big one. And part 3 is the cost of war. What is the cost involved in this massive transfer? War is expensive, but moving an army is a fortune. First, the ships.
I honestly, I don't even know. 6.5 to 9 million per day? Good God. Good God. Oh my days. Jesus Christ. 6.5 to 9 million a day. What? The US military industrial complex is just another fucking level, isn't it? Wow.
A single carrier strike group costs between $6.5 million and $9 million per day. That covers nuclear maintenance, jet fuel, and food for 7,000 sailors. Second, the ammo. A single...
But I feel like you can't just brush over that. Like it's nothing. Holy shit.
THAAD interceptor costs $12.7 million. The SM-3 missiles on the destroyers cost $28 million per shot.
Christ.
If you combine the airlift fuel, the naval surge, and the pre-positioned ammo, this 30-day deterrence operation has a burn rate exceeding $1.5 billion. And that is before a single shot is fired. In part...
Here's me going to the grocery store and looking at the price of avocados and thinking, don't know if I can get avocados this week. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile... billions of dollars.
4. We'll look at what is the logistic nightmare involved in sustaining this force. The nightmare is access. As of January 14, 2026, we have reports of a partial evacuation of the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar due to rising tensions. This is the nightmare scenario. If Qatar or the UAE deny the U.S. Navy access to their ports for fear of Iranian retaliation, the carrier strike group loses its pit stop. The Lincoln is nuclear, but her escort destroyers need diesel every 3 days.
Every 3 days? Is that much? Every 3 days? Surely not. Good God, that's a lot of diesel, isn't it?
The U.S. Navy must create a steel chain of supply-class oilers stretching 7,000 miles back to Diego Garcia or Guam.
Wow.
If that chain breaks, the most powerful fleet in history becomes a floating museum. We cannot ignore this part 5, the air power alternative. But what happens if the carriers don't get there in time? Can the US fight without its Navy? The answer is yes. Focusing only on the slow-moving ships is a mistake. The United States holds an ace up its sleeve that doesn't need to wait for a clear shipping lane. Even without a carrier strike group, the US can deliver precision strikes for weeks to come. This is the domain of Air Force Global Strike Command. They can deploy the big 3 strategic bombers anywhere in the world in just 24 hours. First, you have the...
I think this video is more about how fucking insane American logistics are more than anything, isn't it? I get so impressed with just how complex this is and yet still so manageable. It blows my mind.
B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. This is the door kicker. It is the only aircraft in history capable of taking off from Missouri, flying non-stop to Iran, penetrating the most advanced air defense networks undetected, and dropping massive bunker busters on deep underground facilities. Second, the B-1B Lancer, known as the Bone. This supersonic heavy hitter carries the largest payload of any U.S. bomber. It can dash in at high speed and low altitude to deliver massive barrages of cruise missiles or satellite-guided bombs to clear the path. And finally, the B-52 Stratofortress.
Yeah.
It may look old, but do not underestimate it. It acts as a flying missile truck, capable of launching long-range cruise missiles from hundreds of miles away, well outside the reach of Iranian air defenses.
Do you think he's going to kick off with Iran? Do you know what? At the start of the year, I was convinced it was going to kick off with Iran. And then it died down quite a bit, and I thought, nah, there's too much other stuff going on, but... It just, I don't know, I'm starting to feel like it might again. And it is quite concerning, isn't it? Part of me is like, we'll never put boots on the ground, but you can never say never, can you? With the riots going on there and everything. Oh.
Let's take a look at how this works. The first line attack involves the B-2 stealth bomber moving in to destroy high-value air defense systems like the famous S-400 Triumph and other surface-to-air missiles, effectively disabling them by using its stealth technology.
Which we want to reiterate with that part of it, the B-2 stealth bombers have already been into Iran. They've already done it. And so they're more than capable of doing it again. Easily. It's not even with question. Do you know what I mean? It's very capable for them.
Next, the B-1 Lancer flies at a very low altitude towards enemy targets to take out older anti-aircraft guns and missiles.
I feel like I want to know more about that aircraft. I don't know. I think I did a video on it a while back, but I don't know that much about it.
This clears the way for conventional aircraft like the B-52 Stratofortress, which can then sweep in to destroy any critical infrastructure without facing anti-aircraft threats.
Jesus.
This is the reason they need both the B-2 stealth bomber and conventional bombers, as there are only 19 units of the B-2 Spirit in service to date. But
I mean, this is like, if you're a member of the Iranian military and you get the orders that you're going to war with America, it's like going to war with a super advanced alien society, because the tech is just so far advanced that it's not even comprehensible. Like, what are you going to do as a soldier? There's no fight. There's no fight. You might not even see an American soldier. Do you know what I mean? And yet you'd still be killed. You'd never see an American soldier.
let's move back to the Super Carrier Strike Group. A typical carrier strike group might comprise of 5 to 7 of these ships. At the center sits the aircraft carrier. These carriers can accommodate a maximum of 130 fighter jets. Flanking each side
130!
are 4 destroyers. They could be the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, predominantly used for anti-air warfare. Leading the battleship at the front is a Ticonderoga-class cruiser. These ships are multi-mission, covering air warfare, undersea warfare launching torpedoes, naval surface fire support, and surface warfare.
My God.
At the back is the frigate class, generally serving as a light escort with a focus on anti-surface and anti-air roles, with a lesser degree of capability than larger ships. Depending on the mission, nuclear-powered Virginia-class submarines animated in our recent videos can also be added to the carrier strike group to seek out and destroy hostile surface ships and submarines.
I guarantee, not only is there more subs following these these ships around. There'll be more subs with this group. There'll also be tech that we have no idea about. I guarantee it. There'll be satellites that are specifically always tracking these aircraft carriers and making sure they're safe. That's number one. Secondly, it wouldn't surprise me if there are unmanned, droned submarines following as well. There's going to be tech that you have no idea about that's protecting these vessels as well. Guarantee it.
The typical carrier air wing can include the Grumman E-2 Hawkeye. This aircraft flies ahead of the aircraft carrier, scanning the battlefield with its large radome radar. Simply put, it acts as the scout, providing early warnings of any enemy activity up to almost 100 kilometers away. They even have a mini cargo plane, the C-2 Greyhound, which they use to transport equipment and personnel. While the 6 Seahawk helicopters are designed for rescue and anti-submarine missions.
How many helicopters?
Personnel. While the 6 Seahawk helicopters are designed for rescue
60?
and anti-submarine missions.
6.
These Seahawk helicopters can be launched from a specific part of an aircraft carrier. We also made a deep dive into the sea, air, and land components of the nuclear triad. So subscribe for more videos to not miss a beat.
Okay, you have to go and subscribe to AI Telly, guys. Link down below. They're phenomenal. What do you think? Is it going to kick off with America and Iran again? Is it going to happen? I mean, it wouldn't really kick off, would it? It would just be America just destroying them. So is it going to happen? Is this a distraction? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments because it's getting quite insane out there, isn't it? Anyways, link down below to the original video. Check out Chug, 10% off, link down below. Go buy yourself some morale as well. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.